I schooled in a boarding school, and I remember I was in Jesus when I told the Lord that, Lord, when I wasn't really a believer, I told the Lord that I don't want to get into a relationship.
Mhm.
And somehow, God kept that covenant and held me through.
Okay.
So when I was done with secondary school,
That's very rare now because secondary school of these days,
hmm,
they are something else.
that
It is
matter.
very hard, sorry to say, very hard for you to see a lady like going through finishing secondary school and the lady remaining
Relationship.
untouched. You
Yeah.
understand what I mean by that? Very difficult. It means that such lady must have been very intentional. Very
Exactly.
intentional. You can go on.
So when I was in secondary school, I've actually been building up image, building up image, building up image. And first person I kissed happened to be my friend.
Mm.
I just came back from school, and there was just this crush from nowhere. I mean, guy was all grown up.
That book you've been reading the book, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I've been reading the book way before I left secondary school. And suddenly, I'm seeing a guy who looks like a speck, the way the book actually described, tall, just that he's not dark, muscular, and a whole lot. So there's just this expectation of, like, I'm getting to just see an image from my imagination. And so I began to crush on him.
Wow.
And he didn't even want to even, kiss. I kind of mounted up pressure on him to kiss because I wanted to taste what it felt like.
Hmm.
I already had an expectation of kissing, okay. And I used to be someone who is so daring, like this thing. I'm curious to know about
And
it,
you must want to.
and I want to do it. That's how children are.
Yeah.
There's just this
Yeah.
curiosity that if they don't get to satisfy it, if you give them a little chance, they will look for every means to satisfy it.
Yes.
So I was
Yes.
curious. I read a whole lot. So I was curious for the experiment. I mean, let's be practical. I have the knowledge.
God. Terrific knowledge.
And my God, my expectation was there was no butterfly anywhere, not even around me, not talk about it in my belly.
Hmm.
There was no strawberry, there was no chocolate, there was no
Okay,
vanilla,
you
anything.
mean, hold on. I really want to be practical here.
Yeah,
Like, when you kissed the guy, you mean there was nothing stirred up in you.
there was nothing triggered.
Hmm.
Nothing triggered.
But then, I feel some other person said, I've once said, they kiss, then